Hello, everyone. A very warm welcome to all of you to the 7th day of meditation. My name is Kalawati. I'm joining you from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and I'm very happy to be your host for tonight. So we are 7 days old babies now, but we learned quite a lot, didn't we? We learned about the subtle system which is within us. We learned about the 3 channels and how to balance them. We learned about the 7 chakras, 7 energy centers, and how to awaken them using the affirmations. And we also learned foot soaking yesterday. And today we are going to enjoy again the experience of foot soak. And for this, we have some very amazing leads with us today. But before I introduce them, I would like to make a little announcement for those of you who are joining us today for the first time. Please let us know. You can put a message in the chat box and we will assign you to a breakout room. All right, so the first lead of today is Tracy. Tracy was born and brought up in Los Angeles. She studied child development and child clinical psychology, and she now lives in Florida and has 4 grandchildren. Tracy was very fortunate. Hi, Tracy, how are you doing?
Very well, thank you, Kalawati. How are you?
I'm good. So good to have you here tonight. So, Tracy, you received your self-realization in London when you were in your 20s, isn't it? And you were also fortunate to meet Shri Mataji in person because Shri Mataji was living in London at that time. And
That's
also
right.
spend time in her presence and to even learn Sahaja Yoga directly from her, isn't it?
It's true. Yes, it was a great blessing. And in those days, it was absolutely necessary because we came to Sahaja Yoga with a lot of misidentifications, and she really put us right. She set us straight.
Yeah, I think that's really amazing because, you know, we often get these questions from seekers who are like, you know, but how was it, you know, to meet Shri Mataji, you know, you met Shri Mataji and they want to know, you know, about our experience, the experience we had, you know, in the presence of Shri Mataji. So we're really happy to have you here with us today and we're looking forward to hearing from you soon later. All right.
I'll just say one thing, that
yes.
She was just like a mother and a grandmother, and she treated everybody with tremendous love. And in those days, it was terribly needed, as well as still today.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's of great interest to all of us. So get ready. I think you're going to get many questions on this from the seekers and the experiences you had. All right. So we'll talk to you later in the session, Tracy. The second lead for tonight is Steve. Steve is joining us from Maryland, close to Washington, D.C. He's a retired physical therapist. He loves walking in the nature and also sharing the experience of self-realizations with all those who want to have it. Hi, Steve. Good to have you with us.
Yes. I came to Sahaja Yoga meditation in 1999.
Okay.
Before that, I know I was kind of lost, really. I just was kind of discombobulated with what was important in life, what I needed, how to achieve it, how to be peaceful, how to be centered. And when I came upon Sahaja Yoga meditation, it was like transformation. It's like everything lightened up. I was able to settle down within myself, feel that joy and peace with myself and with others and with nature. So it really has been, it's life transforming. It's been life transforming for me. I'm sure for others it's the same.
Right, beautiful. Thank you so much, Steve. We're looking forward to interact with you a bit later.
Yeah.
All right. So the artist of the day today is Prateek. Prateek lives in Virginia and he is a software developer. He loves playing the harmonium and singing as well. Hi, Prateek. Good to have you here with us. We're really looking forward to your musical offering today when we'll meditate and absorb the vibrations on your beautiful music. All right. So, as I mentioned before, we are going to foot soak today. We are going to just take a 2 minutes break for everyone to get ready and get equipped with everything they need. So don't forget to get your foot soak bucket, a handful of salt, a mug with fresh water, and a towel as well. And we'll meet you guys in 2 minutes.
Good evening, everyone. It's such a joy to be here together with all of you. And tonight we're going to foot soak together. Foot soaking is one of the many aspects, practices that we have in Sahaja Yoga, and ones that after a short time, we realize just how helpful they are and that we really can't live without them. And we wonder how we've done so for so long. So tonight we're going to foot soak, and foot soaking we do to bring ourselves into balance, as well as to clear out any impurities that we may have picked up in our day, and some that are a bit more long-standing within us. So we have the foot soaking bowl filled with water. We have a towel and a rinsing bucket. And I fill my bucket in the bathroom, so I use a little scoop like this. My salt is already in the water. If you haven't put it in yet, please do so now. And we begin foot soaking by vibrating the water. So we go with our right hand clockwise, and we are positively charging the water, especially the salt element in the water. And this positive charge absorbs and attracts like a magnet the negative charges within our body. And not just physical, but also mental and emotional. In the beginning, we may feel like giving this vibrational quality to the water is just a mechanical movement. But as we begin to become more sensitive to the vibrations, we'll feel a difference. We can actually put our hand over the water and see if we feel any of the vibration coming off of the water. We'll also learn to use a temperature that is suitable to our inner subtle system. If we tend to be quite physically or mentally active, we have more heat in our system, we may take a cooler foot soak like I do. Others who perhaps have more of an emotional nature or struggle to get into gear at times, will take possibly a warmer foot soak. So let's now put our feet in the water. And before we actually start the foot soak, let's just lift our hands up a few inches above our lap and close our eyes and see what our subtle system, the state of it is like. How are we feeling today? What are we feeling? Do my hands feel heavy? Is any part of my hand tingling? Perhaps one hand is heavier than the other. Perhaps one of our fingers may feel like a little electrical current. So we'll just take a moment and feel our own vibratory state. Okay, great. So like me, if you wear glasses, we won't be needing them for the foot soak, so you can take them off and put them aside. Or if you want to keep them on, if you need to, sometimes when we're foot soaking, we may get either a little lost into the foot soak, perhaps a little distracted if our thoughts are still active, and we may lose track of where we are collectively. So just open your eyes, and then once you see where we are, what we're doing, then please close your eyes again. So today, during the foot soak, we're going to raise our energy and put ourselves in bandhan. We're going to clear the right channel and then the left channel. And then we'll work on the center channel. And we hope today that everybody can feel a deeper state of silence, maybe a longer few moments of silence, and also more balanced and clear. So let's begin. Let's bring our hands in front of our sacrum bone, and we'll have a chart on the screen now so you can see the diagram of the subtle system. So that's the triangular bone at the base of the spine. Let's bring both of our hands with the palms facing up and our hands quite relaxed in front of the sacrum bone. We can close our eyes. Take a deep breath. and bring our attention onto the palms of our hands. Now let's bring our attention inside to the sacral area within us, where this very subtle, cleansing, nourishing, motherly energy resides within us. And we ask her, Mother, please awaken within me and bring me into balance. So let's, with both of our hands now, as we've learned, with the right hand revolving around the left, slowly go up to the top of our head, tilt the head back, and tie a knot. Let's do that again. Second time. Tie the knot twice. And the third time. The attention rises with our hands. We can even look at the palm of our hand as we tie the knot 3 times. Let's now put ourselves in the protection of the bandhan. We'll go up over the left side, the top of the head, down the right side. We go back up and back over. From the left hip, up and over to the right hip. And that's the second time. And we'll do it 7 times. Very good. Let's bring both of our hands on our lap. And let's just see, where's my attention now? Let's allow our attention to rise through the center channel to the top of our head. We can bring our right hand to the very top of our head, put the palm on the fontanelle bone area, stretch the fingers slightly, and ask our energy, Mother, please awaken within me. Please rise. And give me my self-realization. Please establish it, strengthen it, so that I can be in the state of meditation. Let's slowly lift our hand up. And let our attention rest in that space above the top of our head. Let's keep it there as we bring our right hand back onto our lap. So now we're going to lift our left hand, keeping our elbow bent and relaxed at our side. The fingers are pointing towards the sky, and the palm is facing back over our left shoulder. This is how we can clear the right side. We help the right side to clear by letting any excess heat, impurities, the residue of the activity of our day, to vent into the atmosphere. Relax our shoulders. Take a slow, deep breath. We don't have to do anything right now, except let our own inner energy take care of us, as she knows best. To further help clear the right side, we learned that our left hand absorbs and our right hand transmits. So we'll take our left hand and place it in the lowest part of our abdomen where our leg and torso meet. This is the second center on the right side of our body. And we're going to put our right hand towards the Mother Earth. So the left hand again is on the second energy center on the right side of our hip, where our leg and torso meet. This is a very active center within us that we'll learn about next week, the Swadhisthana chakra. That has a lot of function, a lot of responsibility. So we're just going to help alleviate any fatigue from the activity that this center is required of this center. We'll learn about all of those functions next week. For today, we'll just allow it to relax and clear. We can shake off our hand a little bit. And we're going to move the hand now, the same hand, the left hand, to the upper portion of our abdomen on the right side over the rib cage. Beneath this area in us is the liver, which is also a very important organ, and that plays a very, very important role in our meditation. And once again, we'll learn more about that next week. For now, we're just going to soothe it down, letting all of the heat, any impurities that gather there, to be drained into the Mother Earth. Let's keep our attention above the top of our head. Or just on top of our head if it's easier. We ask the Mother Earth to please cleanse and clear the impurity in this energy center. This is the third center, the Naga chakra. So we'll continue leaving our right hand towards the Mother Earth, and we'll bring our hand back on our lap. The palm is open, our hand is relaxed, our attention is above the top of our head. And we're going to let the Mother Earth clear the left channel, just the moon channel within us, the channel of our desires and our emotions. Sometimes it becomes blocked, obstructed with impure thoughts, impure feelings, attachments, habits, bad habits. The left side, which is the repository of all of our memories of our past. So we ask Mother Earth to please remove any unhealthy thoughts or feelings within us. To bring our left side into balance, to clear any impure desires that prevent us from benefiting from meditation, that undermine our pure desire to know and become our true self, our spirit. And we'll learn more about ways in which we can overcome habits of feeling dissatisfied or insecure, guilt, not feeling in control of our life. We let all of those things be released into Mother Earth. Let's bring our right hand back on our lap. Check again, where's my attention? We now, with our right hand, or if you prefer, you can use your left hand, we'll slowly raise the hand up the center channel, asking the energy, Mother, please awaken in the center channel of my evolution. Let's do it a few times. Our hand rises and our attention rises with it. Through Sahaja Yoga meditation, our attention becomes very powerful and very capable. Up the center channel. And let's rest our hand on the top of our head. We'll bring our hand back on our lap, leave the attention up on top of our head. Very good. Let's relax our shoulders. Take another deep breath. And see how we feel. Before we dispose of the foot soak water, we're going to rinse our feet. So we'll take the bucket and rinse and dry each foot. And before we move on to the next session, let's take 1 minute to again check our vibration. So we'll close our eyes. Lift our hands up a few inches off of our lap. Let the attention remain on top of the head. And let's see what we're feeling now in our body, in our awareness, our attention, and our hands. Again, we'll see if the hands feel any different than when we began. Very good. Okay, well, I hope you feel as refreshed and relaxed as I do. And as we go through the course, we'll learn more and more how to use the foot soak to target certain areas within ourselves once we become more and more sensitive to feeling the vibration of our energy centers. We'll learn how to use them to strengthen and nourish them. So this is the beginning, and we'll take now a 2-minute break to dispose of the water, and please come back straight away as we will move into the next part of the session. So thank you very much for joining for the foot soak.
Thank you, Tracy, for a wonderful meditation, showing us how the foot soak and to go deeper into clearing out our subtle system, being more ready for a deeper meditative state. In a few minutes, we will have a continuation of Shri Mataji's public program talk that we had from yesterday. It will be a continuation. And she will talk about the power of our own Mother Kundalini and the value that it has for us and what it can do for us. Prateek will provide us with a live vocal meditation after the talk. Shri Mataji's words carry divine vibrations. So it's so important during the talk to have your hands open and receptive on your lap and have your attention above the top of your head so you can absorb the vibrations through your hands and through the top of the head. And try not to analyze the words, just let them flow over you and be absorbed through you without trying to analyze them or do anything with them. Just enjoy the divine vibrations from her words and see how much deeper your meditation state will be afterwards. So enjoy.
But with this power, you become so much full of compassion. Then your attention goes from you to others. What you can do for others. How can you give them realization? And suddenly you discover that around you is so many destructive forces, so many disturbing forces, so many problems. Suddenly you find they disappear. If you can transform human being, but it's no question of transformation. I would say it is the question of evolutionary process. And when this takes place, you find you are transformed completely. And thousands have to be transformed. Thousands and thousands and millions. But somehow, America has a different type of approach to spirituality. They think if I don't take money, then something wrong with me. I must accept money. And they have told me so many things. Some experts came and told me, explained to me all the economics and all that which I don't understand. And they think that it should be sellable. Can't understand this kind of a thing. How much will you pay for Christ? How much will you pay for any saintly personality? Because its value cannot be judged. It's invaluable. Something that's the most invaluable for you is to know yourself. If you have not known yourself, you are still going round and round and round in the mad rush of thinking. Even Einstein, you'll be surprised. has talked about it, that he was trying to find the theory of relativity, and just he couldn't find it. So he went into his garden and was playing with the soap bubbles, and suddenly from somewhere unknown, that's what he said, the theory of relativity dawned upon him. And he called that unknown area, he called them by a name, you see, and that name is rather, to me, not so precise. But he says there is an area which you can exploit, by which you can understand for the future generation, for the future scientist, where you get the ideas from there. And he said for that you must have a kind of a personality that can perceive that torsion area from where the ideas are coming. If he can enter into that area, you can get the full idea as to what is reality. He calls it cognitive. He says this is cognitive science. And such a person can tell you so many things which, when you put it to the scientific test, you'll find is absolutely correct. And this is what happened to him, because himself was a realized soul. And many people like Newton himself was a realized soul. Abraham Lincoln was a realized soul. But they could not tell about it to others because nobody would believe, and anybody tried to tell anything, they just used to torture them. Every saint, real saint has been tortured. Every Sufi has been tortured. In our country especially, many saints have been very badly treated. Also in other countries. Why? Because they are only one, and maybe people were jealous that how could they know so much, how could they talk about so many things. Now, with all this, now only thing, if I have done anything, is very simple, that I thought no use giving these realization to one or two persons, which was the tradition, to give to only one to one. But now I felt it won't work out. We have to have it for the masses. And what I did was to find out a method by which I can give a mass realization. That's all, which is a simple thing. And that is working, and it worked very well. As I said, in America, they just think of, this is another achievement of human beings, that they know about money. So, money, everything money. So they can't understand even spirituality without money. But in a place like, say, we can say Russia. Russian people had no freedom as you have. And they had oppression from all sides in their, as you know, the whole thing was a communistic country. And in that communism, they were completely oppressed. So as a result, they went inside themselves and tried to find out solutions inside. So when they saw me, just seeing me, I don't know how, thousands of them came. Now we are thousands and thousands and thousands of people in Russia alone, also in some countries. When I see here, I'm just thinking in Russia we cannot put it in a hall, we have to have a big tent or Olympics where they had some sort of a thing like that. So the trouble is, we should give up this idea that I can find it for myself. This is very, very common. You cannot. This is the only evolution in which you have to get it from an enlightened person. You have to humble on this point, that I can't get it on my own. I can find my own way. You cannot. You'll be lost. You have to have somebody who is already enlightened. Now, how to get an enlightened person also? How to know? Because after realization, you know the absolute truth. On your fingertips, you can feel the centers of other person. If something is fishy, you can feel it. If somebody is cheating you, you can feel it. Everything. Your fingers speak. This is what Muhammad Sahib has said. At the time of resurrection, your hands will speak clearly. How can hands speak? This is how, because all these 5 fingers are the centers, 6th and 7th center.
Let's continue to meditate and see on our hands. What are we feeling? Let's open both our hands and try to observe what we feel on our hands. Now, in this state of meditation, in the state of silence, we will listen to few verses written by Saint Adi Shankaracharya, who lived like 1,000 years back. And he is paying homage to the Mother Kundalini, which is there within all of us, through which we have got our realization. I'll just describe in brief few meaning of the verses. He says in the opening verses, I sing about that Kundalini who sits in the triangle, which shines in the stamen of great lotus, who has the luster of crores of rising sun. And then in continuing verses, he pay respect and reverence to that Mother Kundalini. And the ending verses, he says, salutations to you, O Mother Kundalini. You are my refuge. You are my boon. And you are form of all mercy. You are omnipotent. So please protect me from all the snares of life, from all the illusions of life. Let's again take our attention on the top of our head. And while you listen to this verse, give attention to your own Mother Kundalini. ज्वलत्कोटिबालार्कभासारुणाङ्गीं तुलावन्य श्रृंगार शोभाभिरामा जलत्कोटिबालार्क भासारुणाङ्गी तुलावन्य श्रृंगार शोभाभिरामा महापद्मकेञ्जर्क मध्ये विराजत महापद्मकेञ्जर्क मध्ये विराजत त्रिकोणोलसन्तीं भजे श्रीभवानी गणेशानिमाद्याखिलैः शक्तिवृन्दैः स्फुरुच्छ्री महाचक्रराजोलसन्तीम् गणेशानिमाद्याखिलैः शक्तिवृन्दैः स्फुरुच्छ्री महाचक्रराजोलसन्तीम् परां राजराजेश्वरीं त्वां भवानी परां राजराजेश्वरीं त्वां भवानी शिवाकोपरिस्तां शिवां कालयेऽहम् गुरुस्त्वं शिवस्त्वं च शक्तिस्त्वमेव त्वमेवासि माता पितासि त्वमेव गुरुस्त्वं शिवस्त्वं च शक्तिस्त्वमेव त्वमेवासि माता पितासि त्वमेव त्वमेवासि विद्या त्वमेवासि बुद्धिः त्वमेवासि विद्या त्वमेवासि बुद्धिः गतिर्मे मतिर्देवि सर्वं त्वमेव श्रुतीनां गम्यं सुवेदाकमादे महिम्नो न जानाति पारं तवेदम् श्रुतीनां गम्यं सुवेदाकमादे महिम्नो न जानाति पारं तवेदम् स्तुतिं कर्तुमिच्छामि ते त्वं भवानी स्तुतिं कर्तुमिच्छामि ते त्वं भवानी क्षमस्वेदम्भं प्रबुद्धः किलाहम् शरण्ये वरेण्ये सुकारुण्यपूर्णे हिरण्योदरादियगम्येति पुण्ये शरण्ये वरेण्ये सुकारुण्यपूर्णे हिरण्योदरादियगम्येति पुण्ये भवारण्यभीतं च मां पाहि भद्रे भवारण्यभीतं च मां पाहि भद्रे नमस्ते 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 भवानी नमस्ते 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 भवानी नमस्ते 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 भवानी। Paying that respect and reverence to our own Mother Kundalini. Let now again observe what we feel on our hands, on the top of our head. Now I hand it over to Steve.
Thank you, Prateek. Wow, we're getting deeper and deeper into our meditative state. Let's continue our journey and let's raise our Kundalini. As we know how to do, we can raise our Kundalini first for our left channel. Make a virtual knot, top of the head. Come down over us. And then second time for our right channel, making 2 knots above the top of our head. Come down over us. And then third time for the central channel and make 3 knots, bringing all 3 channels together as one, top of our head. And come back down. Now we can go ahead and close our eyes, bring our attention inward. And let's just use our breath as a conduit for our Mother Kundalini. Our Mother Kundalini does all the living work for the meditation, but our breath can be a conduit for putting attention on our Mother Kundalini. So let's breathe from the base of our spine, the top of our head and beyond, the thinking mind. Breathing in through our nose all the way up. Pausing there, tapping in to that universal oneness. And then exhale slowly out through our mouth and just let go, letting that, our Kundalini drape over us, coming down over us like a beautiful shower of love. Again, breathe in all the way up and beyond our thinking mind, pausing there, bringing our full attention in that beautiful space of oneness, of love, compassion, and peace. Then exhaling slowly through our mouth, letting our breath drape over us in tandem with our Mother Kundalini as we exhale. And now what we can do is bring both of our hands, palms up, open and receptive to the level of our heart space. And let's just tap in and let's check in with our vibratory awareness where we are with our balanced state. Is one hand warmer or heavier than the other? Let's move one hand up, one hand down like a teeter-totter. Just get a sense of weight and temperature. Is there a difference between one hand versus the other? We know that for past sessions that our left hand corresponds with our emotional state, and our right hand corresponds with our rational and physical state. Let's see where we are. Some of us may feel more emotionally laden, so your left hand might feel warmer or heavier. Some of you may feel warmer or heavier with the right hand, being more distracted with your attention, maybe more futuristic, maybe more worrisome. Let's just check in with all honesty through Mother Kundalini's vibratory feedback where we are. So now let's place both of our hands toward Mother Earth. And let's do an overall clearing of both of our channels, left and right, by again inviting Mother Kundalini to rise up through our central channel and bringing us into that balanced state between our past and our future. So let's breathe in, all the way up and beyond our thinking mind. Pause, exhale, and let go in tandem with Mother Kundalini, allowing her to clear out both of our left and right channels. One more time, breathe in, all the way up and beyond. Pause, exhale, and let go in tandem with Mother Kundalini. You can use the sound of Om, which is the innocent sound of wisdom sound of our first energy center, which is the foundation for all of our subtle system that nurtures us in tandem with our Kundalini. Let's say the sound of Om, bringing it up from the base of our spine all the way to the top of the head and beyond. And then we can then allow for that nice clearing to take place through our hands. So let's breathe in, exhale with the sound of Om. Om. Again, breathe in. Om. And one more time. Breathe in. Om. Now that we've established a stronger connection with our central channel through our Mother Kundalini, let's place both of our hands, again, palms up, open and receptive at the level of our heart. And let's again do that teeter-totter. Let's see if we don't have more of an evenness with the weight and temperature of both of our right and left hands. There may be still somewhat of a difference between the left and right. There may be still a little bit of difference, maybe a little bit warmer, a little bit more heavy than the other, but let's see if it's softened significantly and maybe completely. It's the power of Mother Kundalini. She's very spontaneous, very nurturing, very loving, very caring, and can clear out our obstacles so easily, so effortlessly. Now let's go ahead and bring our hands back on our lap, palms up, open and receptive. And let's massage the crown of our head with our right hand, pushing our palm firmly into the crown of our head. Extending our fingers and thumb, and rotate clockwise, right, back, left, to front several times. And then let's bring our hand up somewhere between 3 and 5, 6 inches. Let's establish that beautiful space between the top of our head, where our hand is, where our Mother Kundalini makes a beautiful connection for us. We feel the coolness coming into our palm. You can move slightly in quarter-inch movements from 3 to 6 inches, somewhere in that range, very slowly, and just see what height you feel the most feedback coming into your palm. Mother Kundalini's cool vibrations coming into your palm. It may be still warm a little bit as she clears out any stuckness in any of our energy centers or chakras. Let's bring our hand down, do the same thing with our left hand. Again, moving in small quarter-inch movements, finding that height where we feel the most feedback. Again, like I said, there might be still some residual warmth. And you may not feel anything in particular, but most importantly, in that space between the top of your head and where your hand is, are you having less thoughts, or hopefully no thoughts, because there's no need for any thoughts when we're here in meditation? More that settlement and peacefulness. Bring your hand back down. One more time, massaging the crown of your head with your right hand. Bringing your hand up again, somewhere between 3 and 6 inches. And for that virtual space between the top of the head and where your hand is, let's keep our attention there as though we're looking downward. Let's place our right hand on our third energy center, the level of the navel, the center of our torso. And let's have an inner dialogue with our divine mother Kundalini energy. And let's ask her to help us to go deeper by clearing out some of our energy centers that may be holding us back in any which way. So let's ask her, Mother Kundalini, please come to this third energy center called Nabi, and please enlighten it and give us that completeness of peace and satisfaction, contentment within ourselves, so that we don't yearn for outer things and titles and recognition, that we can feel that completeness, contentment within ourselves, no matter what we have or don't have. That inner sanctum of peace doesn't come from outer material things, situations, engagements. Let's take a nice deep breath into this location. Feel the expansion of our abdomen. And then exhale, again with Mother Kundalini. Let go of any heaviness we may be feeling in this area that we're aware of or unaware of. Again, breathe in, expand, pause, exhale, and let go. Now let's go ahead and go a little bit higher with our attention, inviting Mother Kundalini to come to our heart space, placing our right hand over the left aspect of our chest, the seat for our spirit, asking Mother Kundalini to help us to enlighten ourselves in pure oneness with our spirit, pure oneness, unconditional love and compassion. Pure oneness takes us beyond any perceived boundaries or limitations that we place upon ourselves through our attachment to our emotions, to our minds, limitations, or to our physical body. Let's take a nice deep breath into this location. Feel the expansion of our oneness, our true self. It goes even beyond our own physical body, permeates beyond into our greater community and beyond, in that oneness of love and compassion. Breathe in, feel that expansion and oneness. Exhale and let go. Now let's go ahead and go to our forehead. Let's bring our right hand to our forehead. We can clasp our forehead with our right hand, spread our fingers and thumb, so we put some slight pressure on our temples, and bow down into your hand. And let's defer to the reality, not the reality that we think is reality, which is our mind's permutations and distractions and emotional discords. The reality, the true self, spirit, to our heart space, that wisdom, nourishment, love, protection, guidance. Here we simply say, Mother Kundalini, please come to this location, to our mind, to our brain, the mind, which is the overlay over our brain, and to settle it down so that we can be one with our spirit, with reality, with love and compassion. Please give us the power to freely let go, give away all of our mental, emotional discords through forgiveness, just giving away to love and compassion. So let's say to ourselves, I'm willing to forgive and give away all the discords, all the mental discords of the mind. Let's say a few more times to ourselves, I'm willing to forgive and give away the power of love and compassion in my spirit. Now let's draw our fingers and thumb to the center point of our forehead. And just bring your hand away, open your palm up, just let it all go. Now let's go ahead and bring our attention to the top of our head again. Again, we can massage the crown of our head with our right hand. Here we can say the sound of ni 4 times together. Nothing but this universal oneness. Nothing but this universal oneness of reality, love and compassion and peace, harmony. Ni, 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 ni. Let's bring our hand up somewhere between 3 and 6 inches. Again, we can do a check-in, quarter-inch movements. Let's see if this time we don't maybe perceive the coolness coming into our palm. If we haven't already felt it before. Really move slowly. It's a very subtle perception. Still be maybe a little bit warm still as things are clearing out. But most importantly, in that space between the top of your head and where your hand is, are you there with that mental silence, that peace and serenity? No agendas, no duties, no responsibilities, nothing you have to do or prove or be. Now let's bring our hand back down, keep your attention upward, Jhana thinking mind, both hands in our lap, palms up, open and receptive. Let's just spend 1 minute or so. Just let's see how easy it is to be in that mental silence with no effort, spontaneously. Able to watch any thoughts that come in, let them go by effortlessly, without attaching to them. No thoughts, no doubts, no worries, just beautiful silence. Now, one more time, let's bring our hands, palms up, open receptive, level our heart space. Let's do that teeter-totter movement again. One hand up, one hand down. How are we feeling? More evenness with our right and left hands in terms of evenness of temperature and weight. Let's bring both hands together, honoring our central channel of our for our Kundalini. Now we can go ahead and open up our eyes. We can go ahead again, raise our Kundalini. First for the left channel. And down. And then for the right channel, make your 2 knots for the right channel and down. And for the central channel, 3 knots and down. And then a rainbow of protection or bandhan for each of our 7 energy centers. Going from left, pausing the top of the head, down to the right hip, and reversing and coming back again. I'm doing that 6 more times. Slowly, with devotion. Okay, thank you. Thank you, everyone. Hopefully it was a nice journey.
What a beautiful state of meditation. It is so light and peaceful within. Thank you so much, Steve, and thank you, Tracy, for leading us through the foot soak, and thank you, Prateek, for the beautiful music. So I'm sure everyone has enjoyed this session. The meditation session is over, but night is young. We are continuing with the feedback session. It would be really nice if many of you can stay back and interact with us, because it's really a big learning process for all of us. And as I mentioned it yesterday, it's actually exchanging vibrations, sharing vibrations, and which brings forth the spiritual growth. So it's really nice if many of you can join us in this. Before starting the feedback session, we have a poll on, have you tried meditating at home? And it would be really nice if many of you can participate, because this will give us an insight into how we are progressing in the course. And so once you're done, remember to close the poll window, otherwise it's going to stay on the screen and it may not be that pleasant. And once we're done with the poll, we are going to have an overview, a quick overview on how we meditate at home. Right, so you have it here on the screen. We're going to just keep it up for a few seconds. Thank you to all of you who are giving us your feedback. This is really important to us. And once you're done, remember to close the poll window. It's really, I do remember that when I started Sahaja Yoga, this, feedback sessions were extremely helpful to me, because, in the beginning you have so many questions, and, my answers, all my questions would be just answered. And I do remember this, this was a big, learning process for me, which really helped me to spiritually grow. So thank you to all of you who've given us their feedback. And if you're not really sure how to meditate at home, I'll just give you an overview real quick. It's very important to, to have a place at home, a peaceful place where you can sit for about 10 minutes and where you feel really comfortable to meditate. Make sure you are comfortable, right? You may sit on the floor or on a chair, on a couch. It doesn't really matter as long as you are comfortable. And remember to raise your Kundalini, because, the Kundalini energy is the one who gives us the meditative state. So it's important to raise the Kundalini and to give yourself the protective shield. And then take your attention at the top of your head and just have the desire, the pure desire within, to experience the state of meditation. If you remember the affirmations on the chakras, that's really great. If you remember how to balance your channels, that's wonderful. But if you do not, or you're not sure, just take your attention at the top of your head and just ask your own energy, Mother, to take you into meditation. And you will slowly find that the thoughts are subsiding and that the state of meditation is settling within. And then when you feel satisfied and peaceful like we're feeling right now, remember to raise again your Kundalini energy and to put yourself in the protective shield. That's very important, especially when we go out, we deal with all sorts of situations and people. It's really important to keep ourselves protected. All right, we are going to review now the resources. As you know, we have the WhatsApp groups. And if you're not yet part of one, make sure you join one. We are available there for you, and you can ask questions, you can share feedback, you can ask for our assistance, and we're very happy to help you. And we also have the website in which you can find all the live sessions and, of course, the recorded sessions as well. So if you miss any session, you can always find it there. And we also have the handouts. For example, if you scroll down and you go to day 1 or day 2 or any particular day you want, you will find the recorded sessions, and you will also find the handouts and everything we went through that particular day. So this is how you can catch up with us. And tomorrow we are going to learn how to cool our right side by using the ice pack. It's an important technique as well. So make sure you come prepared with an ice pack. If you do not have a proper ice pack, you can just use a small zip bag, put some ice cubes inside and just zip it up, and you can use that. It's really easy. And on Sunday, we are going to have our first workshop, and make sure you come prepared with candles. Candle treatment is a very important technique for the left side, in which we use the fire element to cleanse our chakras on the left side. So this is pretty much what you require. All right, so we are going to start the feedback session now. And I'm going to invite Tracy and Steve for this session, and all of you, of course, to participate with questions or share your feedback. It's really a golden opportunity, I would call it, because there's so much to learn from each other. There's so much to share. And most importantly, we share vibrations with each other, and that's how we grow together. And today we have Tracy and Steve, and then, they have so much to share with us. And it's really wonderful to, I know many of you would be having questions on how, it was to meet Shri Mataji and how it was to be in the company of Shri Mataji, and how, how it was to simply learn Sahaja Yoga directly from the founder of Sahaja Yoga. So all of you, please hands up, be ready with your questions, and we're really looking forward to the interaction. All right. If there are Spanish speakers among us, please let us know in the chat. we will definitely assign you in a breakout room. And if you do not have much time, you can't stay back for too long, but you still have questions, we don't want you to leave without being unassisted. So please do let us know in the chat box. We will assign you to a breakout room where you'll get, immediate assistance. All right. I do remember that Dinesh was there yesterday, who couldn't stay back for long and he had to drop, but he did have a question. So we are definitely going to take care of that today. I can see here Cheryl. Hi.
Hi.
Thank you for raising your hand and for turning on your video. We're so happy to see you. How are you doing?
I was just going to say that I had saw your little video on WhatsApp
Okay.
this afternoon. So I just want to say hi to you. And I have to tell you that yesterday I was very sick all day. I mean, I was sleeping all day. And the reason I'm saying that is because I couldn't sleep last night. I was up all night without doing the Sahaja meditation. I could not sleep at all. And then this morning I got up and I did the meditation. I always try to do the meditation on my own.
That's wonderful.
I try to do it in the shower, where I'm relaxing and I sit down and I clear the channels and then I do the bandam, and then I just sit there and just try to go through the different areas, and it just changes my whole attitude completely about the day, because yesterday it was just such a difficult day, but I was so weak and so tired and just slept all day, and then I couldn't sleep at night. And I really am just speaking to you to give you all my gratitude, because I am just amazed at your kindness and your love. And I have to tell you, the Sahaja meditation has allowed me to go out into the world and be more kind. Like I went to a free concert at one of the cathedrals here in Dubuque, Iowa. And it takes me out of myself to give appreciation to everyone. And I'm just so much more aware of my body and my mind and the vibration. And it is changing each time, each session. I feel a higher vibration and more coolness. And thank you, Steve, for tonight, because in the beginning, my left hand was really kind of heavy, but then after going through the cleansing and opening up the channels again, and I was just amazed when my hands were equal and they were almost like rising. Like literally rising. I was like, what is this? What is this? It was like, oh my gosh. So really, I don't have any questions. I just wanted to give you my love and my gratitude, and just, that's all.
Thank you so much, Cheryl. Thank you. It's really kind of you to take time and share this with us, and we're really happy about it. And let me tell you that I feel the same. With each session, I feel the vibrations are getting lighter, and we are all growing deeper. So that's really wonderful, and it's so easy because it's happening collectively, right?
Yes, it is. It really is easy. But what I've realized is that believe it or not, it's a little late for me, because normally I'm reading, but now I'm reading early so that I can do this, and my reading is more comprehensive. Like I'm reading a prayer book, a breath prayer book, and I read the 2 chapters before I came here to the session. I was like, oh my gosh, I understand this now, whereas I didn't understand it before. So it's giving me so much more life.
Beautiful. Thank you once again. Wonderful. So let's move on to Delilah. Hello, Delilah.
Hello.
How are you doing? We're so happy. We were so
Great.
happy to get your video in the group and to know more about you.
Thank you. How's everybody doing?
Great. All doing great, apparently.
I really enjoyed the second part or second foot soaking. It was really nice. I did have I keep having more on my left side. It's sort of like a pulling when Steve was doing the meditation of putting the hands down, both hands down towards the earth. On the left side, I felt not, I mean, it's sort of like pain, but it's like this pulling sensation down my left. So
As
I
if
wanted to
something is
ask him.
releasing.
Huh?
As if something was releasing.
Yes.
That's it, yeah. So you see all of this stress which we have within, right? They're all going out when we meditate because the Kundalini energy is throwing it out from our system so we can receive the divine vibration. So it's really wonderful that you could feel it, Delilah.
Thank you.
All
And,
right.
and what is the correlation with the left side of my body?
Well, all right. That's a very good question. How about we request Steve to answer this?
Yeah. So the left side is your emotional state. It's all your past memories, conditionings, habits, regrets, unforgivenesses toward yourself. So all those kind of things that keep us bogged down in the past, keeps us misidentified with who we truly are, our true potentiality. So, it's nice you had a nice clearing taking place there. So, things clear out so effortlessly with Mother Kundalini's support. We're not even aware how much we release so quickly. And then like tomorrow you might feel so much lighter. Maybe we're okay, maybe right now, but you'll see the results as the days continue. And hopefully as you continue with us every day, you'll see more and more results.
Awesome. Thank you, Steve. That was a great meditation. And thank you for the feedback because it does, I'm consciously working on all of the things that you just mentioned. So it's great to get the feedback that it is the same aspects that I'm working on and that it's releasing. So that makes me happy.
Mother Kundalini is giving you that feedback right away.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank
I
you,
really
Delilah.
enjoyed the meditation with Steve. And this time around, I felt heat when he said, put the hand on the head. I felt the heat and then coolness after we did it several times. So it was nice. I did have another question regarding the poll to do it at home. I still haven't organized it in my mind.
All right.
I tend to organize steps in my mind. So at home, I know I call it in. And am I doing the process of clearing the channels and then raising the Kundalini, or do you raise the Kundalini and then do the clearing? Because I know these couple days, there's been a little bit of variation of different activities. So
I understand. I completely understand. Yeah, it would feel like that in the beginning, right? But luckily we have Tracy with us to answer this question.
I'm sorry, what's your name again, please?
Delilah.
Delilah. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you. So first of all, don't worry about it. Your own inner energy, she's there to guide you. You don't have to worry about, should I do this first or that first? If you want, all those handouts are available on the website that Kalawati had shared earlier. So the thing is, this is a 21-day course. Just keep coming every day. It'll start becoming part and parcel of your being. And you'll know what you need to do when you need to do it. So don't think, oh, there's a formal process to go through. Throw all of that, just throw it away.
Okay.
And just sit quietly with yourself. The key to Sahaj is we have this eternal being within us. And it is this feminine spiritual energy that is going to help us become that. So she guides us. So like Steve said earlier, it's a conversation with your own self. So it's introspection. It's clearing out the things that continue to distract our attention. You know, we might be having a pain in our body, or we had an argument with somebody we care about, and it's just continuing. So we're learning. It takes time. Be patient. That's all. We have to be patient with ourselves, and all of the steps will be something that will get reinforced through the whole 21 days. So just keep coming back. You're already in 100% better state, because you can connect with your own inner energy now.
Yes.
So you've learned. It's so simple, Sahaja, simple. You just close your eyes, you bring your attention, and you ask inside and listen and be patient.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you, Tracy.
You're welcome.
Wonderful answer. Thank you, Tracy, and thank you, Delilah. Wonderful. Hi, Manjinder. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Hi.
You can call me Rick.
Oh, all right, Rick. I remember you from the video. Sorry, right? It's you.
I'm on my third week now, and so I appreciate this is cool because it's keeping me consistent. I've been consistent, but I definitely, if I don't make it at the time, I get to rewatch the replays. Appreciate every one of you guys. I do notice one thing that I'm noticing now is like it's getting kind of really cold. Is that something normal?
What do you mean cold? Do you mean to
Like
say?
I feel the coolness, like it's really cool.
Okay, that's a nice question. Steve, would you like to take this?
When you say cool, you mean cool where?
Like the breeze. So I'll feel it more on top of my head area. So I'm assuming that's the Kundalini working on maybe my throat chakra. But also I've also noticed my hands are a lot more cool. Of course, they do change temperature ranges. Sometimes it depends on how the energy was for that day. Sometimes it will be warmer. But for the most part, it's been going wonderful. I'm not complaining by any means, but I was just surprised because sometimes it's really cool. Like the AC is blowing on me.
That's good. That's great feedback. I mean, Mother Kundalini is a cool vibratory energy. I mean, she works through our central nervous system. So, the sensation you get through your central nervous system will be a cool vibratory flow, a feeling in your hands. It could be top of your head. Could be out of some of your chakra centers, like your throat. You might feel it. So you're getting that good feedback. As she rises up, when there's any restrictions, as she goes up, some friction might build up, and so then, in which case, you might feel some heat coming out. But otherwise, she feels unimpeded when she goes up, and it's just a nice, cool vibratory flow.
Nice. Well, I appreciate you guys. I just wanted to share that feedback, and I appreciate this whole organization. I've always noticed it's nice to meditate with a large group of people. Of course, I always do it by myself too, but I noticed the energy is always stronger by having a lot more, and especially with some of you guys that are the vets in the
we
for a long time.
We help amplify each other with our flow of energy. So the more the merrier. The more we have, the better the connection is going to be, actually. It's a collective process.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys. Y'all have a great day. Great night.
Thank you, Rick. Wonderful. I'm so happy you're enjoying the journey. So remember, everyone, all of you who are in the queue, please turn on your videos. Larry, hello.
Oh, hi.
How are you doing?
fine, thank you. I'm sitting in my car, so it's not, I'm not at home. So,
I understand.
but the question I have is, I always notice it seems very consistent where there's always much cooler air on my left hand compared to my right. My right seems to have minimal, if any, coolness to it, where my left seems quite cool. And it always seems to be that way when I start trying to compare, and I'm just trying to figure out why that is, and if there's something I should be doing to try to I mean, I guess my goal would be to get both of them cool, right? Or that, and so how to go about doing that, or and like I was hearing other people, it's something I guess you don't want to start worrying about. You want to just let it happen, you know.
Got it right. Absolutely. That's such a good question. Tracy, would you like to take this?
Surely. It's Larry, right? Yes.
Right. Yes.
Nice
Hi.
to meet you. Hi. So that's wonderful that you can feel the coolness on your left hand and that it's consistent.
Yeah.
And that's an indication that the qualities and the nature of our left side, which is the power of our emotions and our desires, it is our intuition and that feeling that we have about ourself, how we're placed towards ourself. So that indicates that it's very healthy. Then your connection with that aspect of your being, the emotional side of your being. The right side, which you said it would be nice to feel coolness on both. So when I started, for example, for me, it was the opposite. I was very active, energetic, motivated, take initiative type of a person. And yet my left side, I had very little sensation there. So exactly the same. We want to be balanced. We appreciate our strengths and we want to develop the qualities within us that may not be as strong. So that takes place over time. Sometimes it happens very quickly. We're not to worry about it. The meditation is what guides us. It directs us. We get inspired in the meditation, something we may work on or try to achieve. And it becomes a process that is very natural, just like growing into becoming an adult. You know, we didn't have to really consciously put effort in to learn to walk, to learn to talk. It was innate. And this process is just as well, to become a human being and then to become an enlightened human being. And so the enlightenment will guide you.
Great. Well, thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, Larry.
I'll wait till it comes. And
Yeah, as you go through the course, you'll learn more and more about the qualities of the energy centers, of the left and the right channels. And Shri Mataji explains it so nicely when she says, if you want the light, you turn the switch on, and then you can enjoy and you can see clearly. If you want to understand how electricity is created, where it comes from, how it's transmitted, all of the nuts and bolts of it, and all of the knowledge of the subtle system, because frankly, we really haven't had much awareness, if any, of our inner subtle system in the past. So this is an opportunity, and it's an opportunity literally of lifetimes to really develop that deeper understanding, which is valuable and important, especially to those of us in the West. We're curious. But to enjoy it, that's the other side. So the left side, which looks to you like it's my right hand, but this is my left hand. The left side is what allows us to enjoy and to feel that joy. So there's that balance between the knowledge and the deeper understanding, and then the contentment and the joy and the peace. So you're very fortunate.
If I could just add another comment, is simply to enjoy the journey. It's unfolding. Sometimes we get a taste of it and we say, wow, that's great. So I want more, I want it faster. But everything has to be, Mother Kundalini knows our own tempo, what we're ready to handle, what we're ready to let go of, what we're ready to arrive to. So let her, as a loving mother, just take you through the process in her time and be patient with it. And feel that peace with it. Yeah.
Trust the process, it sounds like.
There you go. There you go.
Enjoy the process. Enjoy it.
Enjoy it. Yeah. Oh, thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you for your question, Larry. Wonderful. So don't forget to raise your hand if you have questions. We would love to assist you. And plus, we have here a great storytellers as well, right? Our leads. You can ask any questions and challenge them in any way. They'll be there ready. All right, let's go ahead with Kiran. Hello, Kiran. How are you doing today?
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Yes, you were there the other night.
Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. The button pop up that happened. Anyways, thank you so much to all of you. We enjoyed the food stove, the music, and also the last meditation. Particularly when you asked to see which hand is heavier if you feel, and I was feeling my left heavier. And when the last step is done, then we checked again, and I feel it is balanced.
Great.
And also I have pain on my left neck, so that's got minimized.
Great.
Great.
Yeah. So thank you to you all, and thank you to your team. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Thank you so much.
Thank you to you. Just because you feel the pain in the left part of the neck, how about, Tracy, we have a little meditation on this, because this is something that others may also feel. And it's always so wonderful to remind yourself that you're not guilty and your value is spiritual, and you know, that's your worth. So how about we do that and we all take our attention within. Tracy, would you like to lead that?
Surely. Did you
want
to
add one more question? So you can maybe correlated with that. So I also want to know how to open heart more, because I think that it's not open the way it should be.
Okay.
So if that is related to that, otherwise different, whichever way. Okay, you can go ahead. Sorry.
That's excellent. Thank you. And like you said, what you noticed is that you were feeling the left side heavy and somewhat of a pain in the left side of your neck. But then after the meditation, the left side got very light and the pain went away. So
not completely went away, but yeah,
okay.
It was reduced.
But it
so
got
much.
less. Yeah, right.
Yes.
And now you want to feel more of the joy in your heart, right? Yeah.
That's right.
And be able to express it and feel that. So again, yes, let's close our eyes. We can put our hands open on our lap. And again, this is something that will grow within us over time. So just as Steve said, and I said earlier, the most important thing is continue practicing, spending more and more time, even if it's 10 minutes once or twice a day, but just taking time for ourselves in that state of silence, and to be patient. Some days it'll be easier. Some days it may be a little more difficult. We might have a trouble one day, so we get up, we go about our day, and then we come back to it later in the day or the following day. So now we can, with our eyes closed, feel our inner being, feel the center of our being, feel ourselves in balance. To help that discomfort in the neck to get less and less, and to eventually be completely gone, we can put our right hand on the left side of our neck where it meets the shoulder, and let the fingers go around a little bit to the back. You can turn your head to the right. So maybe your fingertips are pressing a little bit towards the spine, the vertebra. And this is the center of our self-respect, our dignity, our sense of self-worth, which gets compromised when we regret and feel guilty. So we want to learn from our mistakes. We want to learn to correct ourselves and develop that understanding that I am going to make mistakes and I will learn from them. And I do not have to feel guilty about the mistakes that I have made. Because then, as you want the heart to open, it won't get to fully open if the center at our throat is blocked. So we'll say to ourselves silently, I am not guilty. I don't have to feel guilty anymore. We can ask our Kundalini, Mother, please help me to become free from the guilt that may be there from my past. And then we can see, we can ask inside, is there something that I still feel bad about? We have to learn to love ourselves and to let those things go. If there's something I need to do to correct myself, I'll ask within. And most of the time, the answer will come automatically, Sahaja. What I can do to correct a mistake that I have made so it doesn't happen again and again and again. We tell our Kundalini, Mother, I want to learn from my mistakes. I don't want to continue to make them. Please give me a true sense of self-worth that comes from being my spirit. Let me value my spirit. We can bring our hand down to our heart, bring our neck straight, and simply ask, let me know my true self. I want to know and become my true self. I want to know and become my true self, my pure spirit. Gradually, over time, as the light of our spirit begins to shine more brightly within us, that dignity and self-worth will grow automatically. It keeps us humble and helps us to become more forgiving and generous in our spirit, generosity of spirit. So I hope that helped. Can open our eyes and see if we feel a little kinder towards ourselves. It's important to be kind to ourselves first, right? Yeah. So
Beautiful.
thank you.
Thank you so much, Tracy.
You're welcome.
All right. Thank you for this short but such a deep meditation, Tracy. And remember, this is something that you can do anytime at home, whenever you feel off balance, or whenever you have the desire to simply, bow to your own self. You can always do this. Kiran, do you also have a question?
Yeah. Now, this is the third time I'm putting this question at my difficulty to get away with thoughts. There's the greatest difficulty while meditating. I try and try, but I'm still not getting thoughtless. So I'm trying to find out, asking and knowing or trying to understand the experiences and trying those I'm not still there. So that's my very much very serious concern every day. Sorry, go ahead.
Please go ahead.
You will get there.
Yeah, I have patience. No. But every time, like now, this is 7 day now. Every time I sit, so that's still in my mind that I must ask someone, or I should. Okay, today may be the day. But I have patience, and I told that I like to sit for meditation. I enjoy it, so I feel there's a change within, but that those indications like cool breeze, hot breeze, or really that real state of thoughtless awareness is not there.
It's okay.
Yeah. So that's really, I'm every now and then I'm thinking about it. I should not think it or that, but still I had to. And now that we are here, so let us see if I get something more, and then it clicks kind of tips. After all, I know it's going to take time. May take who knows how long, but still doesn't matter. That patience I have.
It might happen tomorrow, because tomorrow you're going to have ice pack, right? Yes.
Yes, that's right.
So that is very effective for calming down the mental activity of the right channel. So tomorrow we'll have to see if that's your lucky day.
Right.
Yeah,
My wife has been asking me to do that, but that's my bad that I did not try so far. She has been asking. She does regularly. She started the yoga long time back, long time back, and I'm that way fairly new, but maybe
Well,
5
tomorrow
months now.
she'll get you that ice pack.
Yes, I'll be with that tomorrow.
right.
He
So
wants to have the vibration. The guy is looking forward for that.
yeah,
Any
it's
kind of feeling,
sweet
warm,
feedback.
cool.
Yeah, I would say this is a very sweet feedback and a sweet question as well, Kiranji. And I think we're all sometimes there, you know, sometimes you just enjoy the bliss of the meditative state, and sometimes you're not quite there. So I would say it does happen to all of us sometimes. But how about we also give the chance to Steve as well to, you know, give us some insights into this. So, Steve, what do you do, you know, when you want to meditate, you know, but you're not quite there?
Yeah. So your concern seems to be more about the mental distractions, just your attention being distracted, you're thinking too much. Is that your concern?
Yes.
Yeah. So our on a physical level, our liver is an organ that is a fuel for feeding our brain and keeping our attention settled. So when that gets overworked, then we get wobbly with our attention. So the ice pack is going to be a very helpful thing for you. They're going to show you that tomorrow. Also, to actually use your hand to ask the Mother Kundalini to come to this location, to settle down your mind, to surrender with forgiveness, to let it go, let go of all those thoughts. Because the more you think about it, the more the thoughts are going to beget themselves. Thoughts beget thoughts. So you don't want to try to use your thoughts to get rid of the thoughts, because you're going to have more thoughts. So you want to surrender. You want to surrender your thoughts. And you want Mother Kundalini to help you surrender your thoughts, not try to manage your thoughts by thinking about them. So different paradigm. Yeah. But you'll see that the ice pack will help a lot tomorrow with settling down your attention.
So in normal course way, when I go around doing my activities or whatever, then I'm fine. I'm doing with what I'm supposed to think. But especially when I sit for meditation, then unnecessary, useless thoughts, and for no reason they just start just coming up like that, popping up in full swing.
Well,
Normally they don't. I'm just in the way now. But when I see them, when I don't want them to come, they do come.
Yeah. And so the foot soaking will help. The foot soaking we did today, that helps with cooler water for you.
Yep.
This pack, and also, surrendering, being willing to humble down and surrender those thoughts, not trying to manage your thoughts. Asking Mother Kundalini to help you with that. She's there to help you with that.
Right. And also being consistent. Sorry, just wanted to add here that it's important to be consistent and do it at home as well, right? So it's really great that you're regularly joining us every evening, but also foot soak every day. Tomorrow you will learn the ice pack technique. You will learn many more other things. So learn how to do it at home as well. That will help you tremendously.
Yes. Yeah.
We do foot soak regularly. Collective foot soak in Brampton, 4 or 5 people we do.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful.
So that's
right.
One small question regarding the foot soak. For both of us, we have 2 tubs, but we are more family members in the family. They also do. So can we use the same tub for that? Like when we wash, right? We wash it and other person can use it.
Yes, other people can use it as well, but only keep it for this purpose, for the purpose of foot soak. Yes. And you or anyone else can use it. If it is used for foot soak only, that's just fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Thank you once again.
Okay.
Thank you so much to all
Thank you so
of
much,
you.
everyone else. Thank you.
All right, Seth, thank you so much for your patience today. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great.
Would you like to turn
No,
on your
I
video?
don't mind going last. Well, I can't because my phone, if I turn on my mic, my video won't work and vice versa. So you'll be able to see me,
I got
but you
it.
won't be able to hear me.
That's
So
fine.
that's why. That's why. We found that out at the beginning of my meditation a couple months ago. But anyhow, my questions are for both hosts. For Tracy, that's your name, right?
Yes.
Yes, Tracy. Hi.
Hi.
I've been thinking ever since the beginning after she introduced you to us, you know, the founder's importance. You know, she's so great for making these set of tools to help us all. And I want to know, how do I word this? What moment, how can you describe the moment you found out how special she was? And how did that affect your Kundalini or your meditation? And that's my question for you.
Well, there were several moments that were valuable and made a huge difference. I wouldn't say there was just one moment. It was something that I became aware of more and more over time. But like you said, there were several key experiences that really made an impression and an impact on me. See, the very first day, it was a public program in the heart of London, and she spoke. I didn't feel anything. Didn't feel the cool breeze, didn't feel the silence, but I was really struck by her, listening to her speak, because I had gone to many, many, many speakers of all persuasions, of philosophy and, you know, religion and different type of culture and anthropology, etc., psychology. And when she spoke, one thing that I was struck immediately is by, it was the fact that everything she said rang true. And I found myself responding to her comments with this inner dialogue, like, of course, why didn't I think of that? Of course, that makes such sense. That's so logical. And I realized that I had never met anybody who I could completely agree with everything they said, that it just seemed that everything she said was the truth. I recognize that. As far as other awarenesses, I'll share one more. One night I was foot soaking. It was quite late. I still didn't feel the energy on my hands. I didn't feel the cool breeze above my head. I didn't feel vibrations, but I was sitting foot soaking. And as I was sitting there and doing, you know, what I had learned, I'd only been in practicing for, let's say, I want to say maybe a month. And at one point, as I was looking at the photograph of Shri Mataji, there was a candle, and I was looking at the photograph before me. All of a sudden, the photograph changed into a mirror, and I was looking at myself. And somebody would say, well, that must have been an optical illusion, or you must have been hallucinating, or you're delusional. But nobody can take these experiences away from you when you have them. And at that moment, I'm sitting there looking, and somebody could say, oh, it's the reflection of the glass. But it wasn't. Her photograph turned into a mirror, and I was looking at myself. And the next moment, or maybe several moments later, it changed back into her, into the photograph of Shri Mataji. And at that moment, I had the awareness that she is in me and that I am in her, that there's some connection that somehow she is aware of what's going on in me. And I was aware of this energy that was awakened within me, that somehow when it connected, I was connected to her. And at that moment, I felt these tremendous vibrations in my hands. And I just could not believe it. And it was moving, and I could move it. So when we give the bandhan, we're generally perhaps not as sensitive. Sometimes a camera can catch these vibrations more than our own eyes. But as I was moving it, I felt this energy moving with my hands. And as I moved my hand around my other hand, I could feel this energy moving under my hand, and I could feel it moving wherever I moved my hand. So I knew in that moment that that awareness that I had was the reality, and that the vibrations that just suddenly kicked on was a response to that awareness, to that truth. And that really made me understand that there's something more to this than I was aware of. And it made me very curious and definitely more sensitive. So I don't know if that helps at all, but at that.
Yeah, if you don't mind me.
Go ahead.
Oh, thank you. Not to interrupt, but that's definitely some pure knowledge. I guess she was a mother to us all in many ways.
That's right.
And I appreciate that. And I feel that. And I had a feeling that might be the case. I just wanted to confirm that with you. And I'm glad I had the chance.
You're very welcome. It's a pleasure.
Great. Now, I want to ask Stephen something, if that's okay with everybody.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Please go ahead.
Please. Thank you. So, Stephen, you mentioned being lost. I would like to know, in the terms of Sahaj, I guess for the lens of Sahaj, what is the process? Can you describe the process of how you felt from being lost to found?
Before Sahaja Yoga, I felt disconnected to identifying with my true nature, the depth and breadth of my emotions, the wisdom and insights that are there for us all the time, but I wasn't connected with them. I just felt like I was floundering around and just kind of going through the motions, but not with any heart and not with any inspiration or settlement or peace. I was really a seeker feeling lost. And I went through so many different types of disciplines, crystal therapy, this and that, all kinds of techniques, looking for some kind of fix, and nothing had any sustaining value. Then when a friend of mine gave me my self-realization, it's like floodgates opened up. Like I said, this is the real thing. I said, this is the real thing. I felt so blissful and peaceful for hours afterwards, and I just yearned and wanted more and more, and just grew more and strongly and more deeply within me. And it's just opened up so much for me in terms of creativity and settlement and peace within myself. So,
Beautiful, Stephen.
your
Thank you so
salvation
much.
yeah. Everyone has their own experience with it, of course, but it's always that opening up and freedom within ourselves and feeling the full potentiality of our own self. It's guaranteed, really.
Well, I'm happy that you found it, Stephen, and I'm happy that you're here and that you share that with me. You're not alone, sir. I feel it as well. And so I guess in a way, I found you as I find myself.
Yeah. And you live in Wyoming, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, there's a lot of nature there, I'm sure, and I don't know if you're more in that and more in the rural area or not, but one of the great things that I've experienced is that my connection has gotten much deeper, not only with people, but with nature also. Feeling that oneness and not having to identify or judge anything or anyone, but simply just immerse and be in tune with them and feeling that bliss and joy of being there with them. and not having to prove or manifest anything in particular, just the joy of it.
Yes, I agree. The way I feel here with all the nature around me, I've always had a strong connection with it. I was always out in it when I was a child. So I know how to cut away the human distraction, everything that we built, everything that we've made along the way, which is beautiful in its own right because we're creative, but it can take us away from our original purest state, which is our connection with everything, nature and each other. That's how I see it.
That's beautiful.
Mhm.
Thank you for your beautiful questions tonight, Seth.
Yes.
All right.
Very nice.
Hello, Imelda. Good evening. How are you doing? You're muted. We can't hear the sound of your beautiful laughter. But we would love to if you unmute. Right, we can hear you now. Right, go ahead.
Okay. I was switched to 2 other rooms tonight. And so I missed whatever you did. I totally missed it. And so switching, going into 2 other rooms briefly. I mean, I got some stuff, but anyway, I missed what you did. But I wanted to ask somebody the question. One of the rooms I was in, the man was talking about the chakras and specifically what they did, and there was a gentleman, a participant, that raised his hand, but his question, he had something wrong with his liver, and the presenter told him how to find the chakra and how to work with the chakra, so he will be working with his liver. So my question, I have a lot of medical issues, and I would like to, well, my intention is to clear all of those medical issues out of my body, to get rid of all of that. And I believe that I can do it with all of this, that I can definitely do it. But I would need to know which chakra to work with. And so that's kind of the bulk of my question tonight.
I got it. Thank you so much. And it's a beautiful desire to want to get rid of whatever is unwanted, in you. So regarding the session which you missed, I just want to add here that you can find the recording on our website. So don't worry, you haven't missed anything. You can just go there and go through everything we did today. And I'm sure Tracy would love to, give you some guidance to your, to whatever is concerning you, whatever related to your health right now.
Who's Tracy? Oh, you. Oh, I'm sorry.
Right. Tracy is our wonderful lead, one of our wonderful leads tonight.
All right. Okay, then. Grand.
So Imelda, first of all, I want to say that I couldn't agree with you more. The desire and confidence and faith that you can do this, I have exactly the same attitude and belief. The belief has grown out of experience, and I just want to reassure you that this is possible. And I can say I'm a living testament to that, because as a child, I had countless health problems. As a teenager, I made every mistake you can. As a young adult, I was really deeply troubled and made all kinds of mistakes. So coming to Sahaj was, and it's a process, it takes time, we have to be patient. You will learn, but we learn and grow at a natural pace. It's called Sahaja. It's the pace of nature. right? So things grow at this pace. You will learn how to do what you want to do. And I can say that as a chronic asthmatic throughout my entire childhood, in hospitals all the time, in doctors' offices every week, on medications, countless medications, day in and day out, and really very dangerous medications. They don't use them anymore, or they don't use them the way they did indiscriminately when I was a child. So they did damage, but the Kundalini is a healing energy and a nurturing one. So it takes a little time. I was able to get off pretty much all of the medicate. Well, first of all, the asthmatic attacks became much less frequent. And I was able to get off the medication. I learned where the roots of that health problem came from within me. And I learned the techniques to, as you requested and want to learn, how to nourish those energy centers, those chakras. And you will, not all in one session. So 21 days is just, it's one breath. And then you have the rest, we have the rest of our lives. And it will happen. It can happen. I would say also not everything is curable. And, if I have a cavity, I need to go to the dentist, or if I have an infection, I've got to, to address that. But the vast majority of imbalances that manifest as health issues, we begin to learn how to address them and correct them. And so our hands become an important part of the process of becoming aware of where these imbalances are. The chart that we used were you there during the foot soak tonight?
No, I was in another room.
Okay, that's okay. It's not a problem. There's tomorrow night, and then the next night, and every night you will learn something. So
yeah, excuse me. I cannot do the foot soak. At least, yeah, I did.
That's okay. Tomorrow, there will be other treatment techniques you will learn tomorrow and the next night, and pretty much every night. And it's a vast knowledge. So if you want to be in the main room, then you can always exit the breakout rooms. There's some, I guess, way to do that.
There's a way to do it.
Yeah.
But I would say, Imelda, just don't worry about it. Yeah. You can go through the resources on our website at your own convenience and catch up with everything.
Right.
It takes a little time. So be patient, but that faith will hold you in good stead, and it will carry you through to realize your pure desire, which is to have a state of well-being.
Yes.
I'll just say one other thing. For example, my son is juvenile diabetic. So that's a condition that right now there's not a cure for. So he takes insulin, and the thing is, he leads a happy, healthy life, and he meditates as well as most of us. So certain conditions are not in any way going to prevent us from becoming happier, healthier people. But some conditions we do live with throughout our lives, and that's okay. And other ones, like you want to, overcome or get rid of, that's possible as well.
Do I have a minute to say something else?
Please go ahead, Imelda. Absolutely.
Okay. I feel that I'm guided by the Holy Spirit, and I had a very it's been several years, I have multiple sclerosis. I've had that for 40 years, so that's not an issue. I do very well with that. But I was supposed to have a hysterectomy, And I just kept hearing, don't do it, don't. From my, I feel it was the Holy Spirit. He kept saying, don't do that, don't do it. And I canceled that surgery like 4 times. And then I eventually had it. I went against my intuition and I had it, but it was because I was really being pushed. I felt like my mother said, do it. My husband said, do it. But so I did it, but it was still against my intuition. And it all went wrong. It went totally wrong. And I ended up having an embolus. Do you know what that is? A blood clot to my brain.
Oh.
Anyway, I didn't have enough oxygen to my brain, and I ended up with a stroke, in a stroke unit. With couldn't speak, couldn't walk, I couldn't talk. I knew what I wanted to say, but I couldn't say it. I couldn't form the words. Anyway, I've come a long way since all of that, and I've developed some other conditions, but anyway, but I've come a long way since that, and I feel I really feel that I want to know more about the spirit. I want to be guided. I want to answer. He's calling me. He's like all the time. I feel this call, and I feel I have a song on my mind. Lord, I need you. Spirit, I need you. And that's really pressing. That's where I am. So I feel like I was led to this by the Holy Spirit. And so and my will and my desire to get rid of they say, well, these conditions are permanent, but I feel like I just feel like I don't accept that. So I'm going to do whatever I can do with the Kundalini. I didn't know about Kundalini, so it's just wonderful. It's really just wonderful. But anyway, that's all I wanted to say. That I'm a testament.
Right.
Yes.
So I really bow to the seeking within you, Imelda, and to the confidence and to the faith, belief that you have, that you are being guided and that it can work out. I would just add here that the purpose, the goal of Sahaja Yoga is a spiritual ascent, because we come with this pure desire, with this pure seeking within ourselves, and we receive the spiritual ascent, right? While meditating regularly. But with that, everything else happens. Our health improves, our condition improves, our well-being, overall well-being improves, our life improves.
Right.
So, so I would say just focus on your spiritual growth, and everything else that needs to follow will follow. All right?
Yes. Tomorrow I'm going to a retreat I'm actually physically going to a retreat at my church, and it's on identifying the gifts of the Holy Spirit. That's what it is. I already know my gifts, but I'm going. I just feel called to go, and
Right.
that's what I'm doing
Because
tomorrow.
you mentioned the Holy Spirit and the Holy Ghost a few times over here, I would like to ask our leads, what is the connection between Sahaja Yoga and the Holy Spirit? And any one of you, please, either Tracy or Steve, if you'd like to answer this.
I can start, and I'm sure Tracy will add a lot more, but which I encourage her to do that, actually. Your own individual Kundalini is the power within you, and she brings you in oneness with your spirit, so that your individual self, your spirit, becomes one, the universal cosmic energy of love of all the universe. So we become harmonized with the vastness of all that universal divine love. So our individual spirit becomes one with the universal divine aspect of divine love. So you become part and parcel of the whole. You're no longer an individual. You're connected. You're like a drop in the ocean, but you're part of that ocean. So you become fully immersed and fully one. So then you have all the divine gifts. All the divine gifts are there waiting for you to manifest for you. So because you get all the blessings from the divine, because you're connected. You become fully connected to the Kundalini. So I would say that for myself, I came to Sahaj because I felt emotional pain and some physical pain. That was my initial motivation, but she works those things out because she wants you to settle down and really have your attention on becoming fully immersed with your spirit. So those distractions of the physical, emotional pains start to settle down, because otherwise it becomes a distraction. You can't really focus on what you really are here to focus on, which is your full immersion with your spirit. So rest assured that some of those emotional, physical ailments will settle down along your journey, I'm sure.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Tracy, please add some things.
Well, Imelda, you said that you feel that in much of your life, you get guided by this power that you call the Holy Spirit.
Yes.
Yeah. So in the different ancient texts, this power has been called, like in the Old Testament, the same power is called the Shekinah. Okay. It's called the Holy Spirit in the Bible, right? The Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost.
Right.
The Holy Spirit, it's the same.
Right.
It was called the Holy Ghost, but it's also called the Holy Spirit. So in all of these different faiths, there is a place for this divine feminine power. There's the Father and the Son and the Holy Ghost, which was called Holy Ghost. I mean, I don't know why they gave that label, but if you have a Father and a Son, then it stands to reason that this power called the Holy Spirit is the Divine Mother, the one that is the power that created, the one that gives life. We call
the Kundalini. You're
Yeah.
saying that's the Kundalini,
That's
right?
right. We call her Mother Earth. And there is a primordial Kundalini in the Mother Earth, and it is reflected in us in our sacrum bone. So already you probably know far more and have experienced through your meditation much more than anybody who you're going to meet at the retreat. I mean, that's just my 2 cents. So I encourage you as much as possible, as Kalawati suggested, to please take time for the sessions. They will benefit you enormously. You've tried many other things, and you're here because they haven't given you, just as Stephen was saying, and I experienced. We tried so many different things through our faith and education and all different aspects of our lives, and yet we're here now because we know that we found something that has potential, or in our case that works. So that's all. I just encourage you to continue coming, because through these sessions you will become deeply connected with your own Holy Spirit, and you will be guided, learning how to use that energy, not only for your health and well-being, but for the benevolence of others. But you have to master it first. And we don't ever tell anybody what to do, what not to do. We respect one another. That's the foundation of Sahaja Yoga. It's that unconditional love and unconditional respect. And at the same time, just encourage you to continue on this path and give it a chance to see where it takes you, because I'm going to suggest that some of the things you've tried in the past, they haven't given you the results, the ascent, the depth of understanding, the joy that this has the potential to give you.
Thank you so much, Tracy.
You've been asking for it for a long time, and now you're here. So the opportunity is right in front of you, right before you, right in you.
Yeah. You felt bad missing just a part of today's session. So I encourage you not, if it's possible, not to miss as much as possible. Just to
but that wasn't my fault. I was.
There's no fault. We're not.
Fault at all.
Not a problem. No, not a problem. But you can also, like Kalawati said, you can catch up by.
Right.
Yeah.
Reviewing the session. Absolutely. Thank you so much for your question, Imelda.
Thank you.
Remember, we're always there on the WhatsApp group. You can message us anytime, and we'll be there to assist you.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you to Jason and Victoria as well for their patience. And I'm going to take Victoria's question first, just because, Jason, I saw you meditating and enjoyed your meditation. So I know for definite that you have a lot of patience and you're enjoying. All right. So how are you doing tonight, Victoria?
Very, very well. Thank you. Actually, it was very, very helpful to listen to you address Imelda's question. And I'm very, very grateful for Tracy, for you sharing your story of that experience with the photo in the mirror. My goodness, that was very vivid just to hear that for me. And I'm, all these questions are just so beautifully answered. All of you are just extraordinary in your presence and your responses. Thank you so much.
We appreciate you.
My question also is about physical. And I recall from last night, Shri Mataji briefly mentioned in her talk about genetics. And it really caught my attention because the medical issue that I've been struggling with since January of 2020, just before the pandemic hit, was a genetically induced condition that is triggered by exposure to biotoxins, mold and limes and that certain bacteria, that sort of thing. And if you have this genetic, the body, they say, is not responding to detoxify the way a body without these genetics would be able to. And so that is part of a genetic that I immediately understood, okay, if I have this genetic, I know and trust that I signed up for this experience at a soul level, because I had a mother who taught me that before I was born, I had the opportunity to survey all the families on the earth to choose the family where I would have the experiences that I would need for my soul's mastery. And this is in a military family that I grew up. So I feel very grateful that I had a mother who somehow knew this and made a point to teach me, so that when this genetic condition hit, the first thing that came into my mind was my mother telling me, you chose this family for these reasons of your soul's mastery. And I'm like, okay, then I trust that I'm here to really work with this genetic. And I do not believe, as you were saying, Imelda, I do not believe I have to be limited by it. And I believe I can transfigure it. And I know about epigenetics, and I know about quantum physics, and I know about spirit. And then I mentioned the sort of synchronistic, magical way that I came to find this opportunity, which I completely resonate with. So my question is about, did Shri Mataji talk in other ways about genetics, or was that just sort of a fluke? And is there any illumination you can share with me about working with this particular challenge with this?
And I can see Tracy nodding, so I guess you do want to reply to this.
She absolutely did. There's one thing that I will say about the genetics is that this energy within our sacrum bone, it can work on the level, not just of our physical, emotional, or mental, but it can work on, as well as the spiritual, it does work on the level of the genetics, of our genes. Wow. And many of these, for example, autoimmune diseases, there's something that's introduced, as you said, it could be toxins or viruses or bacterias or proteins like cancers, and they can invade our subtle system and attack us on the level of the genetics. The Kundalini can reverse that. It has the capacity to do it. We are infants in our spiritual growth, all of us, because this is new to us, this awakening that we're experiencing, and this becoming of our subtlest being, our spirit, which is beyond all of those things. It's in the highest dimension where these things do not exist. So the problems exist in the physical, emotional, mental, right? But when we reach up into that highest awareness, the fourth dimension, we go beyond those lower dimensions, and the problems in those dimensions, they do not exist. I don't know if that makes sense.
I'm tracking you. Yep.
So if we can spend more time in this enlightened, connected area of our being, we're giving this energy within us the opportunity, which she takes, to bring things back into balance and to heal us and to soothe us and comfort us and guide us and protect us and all of that. So this is a journey, we're on it together. And we have the capacity, a lot of these things will be taken for granted in generations to come. They won't be dealing with a lot of these problems because we're, like you said, we're the ones that chose this time to work it out. So we're here to do that together. And we can only work these problems out together. So we rise in our own ascent, and we pull the entire humanity up as we ascend, individually and collectively.
I agree. And I feel like as I do any of my practices, I'm always doing it for myself and on behalf of others, of humanity. And
yeah, is that monkey that could learn how to put the stick, right, and get out the ants, and then spontaneously, or let's say collectively, then others in a completely different part of the world began to do the same thing. So this energy within us, it wants to enlighten us, and it wants us all to get enlightened. So this it does act on the level of the genetics.
Oh,
I mean, I've experienced it in my own life. So I know that it does for myself, and each of us has to discover that in our own lives. And the potential is absolutely there within us.
So I would just continue doing everything we're describing. I don't have to think about it or target it or do a particular different thing.
Nope.
Or
yeah. It'll happen in your meditation. It's in the meditation that when you connect with this subtle energy, then she enlightens, it's a power that enlightens us, and she gives us a higher awareness, and you become aware of where these problems come from within us, maybe through our heritage, right? Ancestors, and it can be generational, or like you said, environmental, or it could be something simple as dietary, but in any number of ways, that is secondary, like Kalawati said. What Kalawati said is the heart of it, that if we can connect and enter into that state where we feel that eternal being within us, and this Kundalini energy, this mothering energy is working, then she wants for us to become enlightened, to have the knowledge, the pure knowledge. This is when we put our hand on that energy center. Shall we do it now, Kalawati?
Why not?
Why not? Let's just place our right hand where the leg and the torso meet on the left side of our body. And our left hand is resting open on our lap. We can relax our shoulders. Watch our breathing. And take our attention to our subtle energy. We ask her, Mother, please awaken the pure knowledge about myself and about anything that's important for me to know. Mother, please give me the pure knowledge. Please give me the pure knowledge. In the beginning, when our own subtle energy begins to rise, it takes a while for us to begin to perceive her. We can tell her, Mother, I want to be enlightened by you. I want to be guided by you. I want to be healed by you. We can thank our mothering energy. Thank you for allowing me to take this journey to discover my true self. Thank you for guiding me on this journey in discovering my true self. So hopefully we feel
Beautiful.
a little more.
Thank you. Thank you once again, Tracy, for leading us into this beautiful state. Wow. We have one last question, and we're very happy to interact with Jason. He has been patiently waiting. And Jason, I've seen you meditating the whole session. How are you doing?
Very serene. Thank you. It, it's so true. You're all earth angels, right? And it's just our energy all here together. It's like, well, right, we are all one, and there is no distance. It's so beautiful. I love it so much. Thank you so much. I'll try and do quick. I know it's getting a little late, but I have every time someone talks, it's like I got more to say. So Imelda, you are definitely being guided. Perspective is everything. Please see that you go into another room showed you that there's chakras that can help you. So by realizing that, it's not a bad thing, right? You are being divinely guided. So just learn to tune into that and you'll be more than fine. Victoria, you're going to figure everything out. You are next to a rocket scientist. Big thing there is to realize that you need to put the intention out. So when you meditate, put that intention out. You want to learn about something, you just put that out there, okay? All three of you are amazing. Tonight was really nice. Loved every part of it. So I got two questions. One really quick is the channels beside the heart on the left and right, they have little circles, and that's the only chakra that has the circles. You know what I mean? There's one picture, you have a flower on the one channel beside the heart chakra. And then in another picture, you have on the two channels, the left and the right, you have the dots. I'm just wondering what symbolism is that? What does that mean? What is that for?
I see. So let's direct this to Steve.
Actually, I defer that to Tracy.
So if we cannot provide all of the aspects of the subtle system in one elementary diagram. It would be confusing and complicated, but it's not important in the beginning. You asked, there's actually a left and a right energy center on all of those channels. Okay, but we don't want it to become overwhelming. So it is shown on the level of the heart, and primarily because in the left heart is the spirit. Within our actual heart is that eternal being. So that is depicted on the chart because it's a critical component of our subtle system. It's like the essential component, right? The reflection of that divine being within us, the Almighty, that witness that is the embodiment of truth and joy and pure existence. So that's why you see that little flame there. Whereas, you don't see it on the left and the right channels, but it could be there. It's just for the sake of not being too confusing and overwhelming. It's an introduction to the subtle system.
Definitely piqued my interest.
Right.
Yeah.
And I loved your story. Funny enough, before you even said it, I just had some kind of feeling. I don't even know what it was. And then when you said that story, I was like, that's it. That was it. It was like, there's a connection, a very strong connection. So thank you for your answer. My other question is, back in summer 2020, my heart chakra opened, and it was very, very, very profound. It's funny because when I was a child, I'd cry with a drop of a hat, and I was sort of raised in a family where it's like, suck it up, and so I learned to suck it up, and sure enough, overachiever, so I definitely sucked it up. I almost turned into a robot, but it worked out well because I learned a lot of things, like how to deal with anxiety and stress, and I was very big observing and learned human nature, and created all my systems, and that's what I help. I teach online and helping people get better dealing with the 3D world. And so when my heart chakra opened back in 2020, it was like a floodgate. It was ridiculous, and honestly, like I could feel my heart thumping out of my chest because I was in love, and it was just really phenomenal. Anyway, so over time, unfortunately, who I was with just wasn't on my level, and teach their own, of course. But it diminished. It went away, and not completely, because I've constantly since that moment got right back into meditation. I used to meditate when I was a child, doing martial arts every day. So since then, I realized that, it's like you said, Steve, you found it, right? It's sort of like, and you never want to lose it. And so as soon as that hit me, I was like, okay, I remember everything came back, and so I didn't want to lose it. And unfortunately, like I didn't lose it. I kept my meditation up every single day, in nature, by the water, wherever. I just tried to fit in somehow, some way. And since January this year, it opened wide open again, and to the point where I was just so determined to be enlightened. It's a desire, right? That's what really opens the door, and it did. It really, really did. And I tuned into it. And it's funny because I signed up for this and I missed it. Something happened. I can't remember exactly, but like like going into the other room, you found out about chakras. It's everything's divinely guided, and I think I had to go through the last couple months on my own just to self-discovery, and I've really been doing the work and meditating for. I really got much deeper, but as I did it, my heart kept opening more and more and more, and like I guess my intention, like I said, Victoria, to put that intention out, all I want to do was become beautiful. I didn't care what anyone thought. I just want beautiful, and that's all I want. And like honestly, I could close my eyes for when and under a minute I can make myself cry, because all I'm doing is just looking into my spirit, which is like you're right. The spirit is right in us. We don't have to look outside. It's right there. And so when I started this, it was funny because, and I made a joke of it even. I'm like, I don't want to be balanced. I love this where I am right now. Like I am in love with myself, and I don't want to be balanced. And I almost felt like I one hand was heavier and it's the other side. And yeah, absolutely. I have to be very aware of myself, because, I'll get to work and next thing you know, like I got, it's 4 a.m. and I gotta get to work tomorrow, but that's how focused I am. So I've taught myself to be more aware, but when I get into that, it's hard. So it's this balance of, okay, like I love being in my heart, but I realize the importance of harmony and balance. And I was almost worried. And it was just last night, it's like, Jay, there's nothing I cannot do. And I'm like, absolutely. Thank you so much. So I wrote it down, I put it on my desk, and I realized that if I want to be beautiful, I can be beautiful and balanced. And like, there's nothing I cannot do. And it was just, I come tonight and it's unfortunate. Like last night, I had to do the YouTube because I had to help my son put up a pull-up bar, and the night before I was helping my friend because she's having major panic attacks, and it's just so like. But to be in Zoom and to be with you connected, thank you, every single one of you, so much. I love you all. You're so beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jason, for your, for sharing all of this with us. And because you mentioned the opening of the chakras, I would like to mention here that in Sahaja Yoga, you have the potential to achieve a very high state, because the Sahasrara chakra, the last energy center, the last chakra, has been opened by the founder of Sahaja Yoga, Shri Mataji. So through all the work that she carried, through the discovery of Sahaja Yoga, through the transformation that she gave to humanity, she actually opened up this chakra. And this is what makes it possible for us to achieve the state of thoughtless awareness, to go beyond our mind, because our mind is here, right, at the level of the sixth energy center. And the Sahasrara chakra is higher, right? So we simply transcend, and then we enjoy the true state of meditation. And this is why today the en masse awakening of the Kundalini is possible. It has never been possible. It was a very difficult thing to achieve, and it was achieved by 1 in a million, and that too through great penance. And today she through the opening of the Sahasrar, she gave us the gift of Sahaja Yoga, which makes it so easy for us to ascend, isn't it? So just because you mentioned the opening of the chakra, I wanted to, make you all aware of it. So there is so much to explore in Sahaja Yoga, so much to experience.
It just keeps getting better.
Absolutely. To finish off last night, sorry to catch off. It's fine because I try to stay calm, but like this makes me excited. And last night I felt the whole top of my head just I never felt it before. I think that was my heart. Okay, there you go. So what I felt in my heart, honestly, it was beating out here, like that far. Last night while I was meditating, it was after I watched the replay. I like to do my own meditation, and it was incredible how it felt like my head was just it wasn't exploding, because it was just a constant. It was just a constant. I'm very rarely lost for words, and it was incredibly beautiful, mind blowing, and I can't say thank you enough. Thank you.
Yeah, don't forget to say thank you to your own mother, Kundalini, because she's the one doing the job.
I'm very grateful. She knows. I gave her a big hug. I did.
That was good, wasn't it?
Yes, she does. It's, thank you.
All right.
All I can say is stay tuned for more.
Right? It's like day 5.
I'll never forget when in the early days of practicing with using Sahaja Yoga, I was sitting, and when I got to the throat chakra, which has to do with harmonizing with our oneness with the universe, I remember all of a sudden I felt this oneness with the universe. I felt like I couldn't believe it. I just felt like there was no separation. I was just immersed in it all. And it was like this exhilaration I was experiencing. You with your heart, now with me with this particular chakra. So as Kundalini opens up different aspects of our cell system, we get to feel the full expression of it. Just stay tuned for.
It's funny how you had a loss for words as well, right? It's that beautiful that you're just thank you. That's all you can do. Thank you so much.
Thank you to you, Jason.
Thank you, everyone.
So it has been more than 3 hours of us meditating together and sharing and growing together. Isn't this really amazing? I would like to remind you about tomorrow's new treatment that we are learning, and that is the ice pack. We are going to learn how to cool down our right side, how to balance our mental activity by using the ice pack. So please do come prepared. And on Sunday, we are going to learn the candle treatment, which is extremely useful for the left side. So do come prepared. And to end it on a very meditative note, although most of us are already in meditation, I would just request Steve to lead a very short meditation. So we take again our attention within before we say goodbye.
Okay. So let's settle down into our inner being, and we can use our breath to just take a nice deep breath within ourselves from the base of our spine to the top of our head. And then pause there beyond our thinking mind, and then just exhale and let go. Again, breathe in all the way from the base of the spine, all the way to the top of the head, in tandem with our mother Kundalini. And just pause beyond our thinking mind, exhale and let go. Let's go ahead and open up our eyes. We can raise our Kundalini as we know how to do. First for our left channel. And then for our right channel. And then for our central channel. And then let's give ourselves a rainbow protection or a bandhan for each of our 7 chakras. First one at the base of the spine. And then 2 inches below the navel for the second chakra. And then at the level of the navel, third energy center. Level the heart, fourth center. Level the throat for the fifth. Level the forehead for the sixth. The top of the head for the seventh. We can go ahead and massage the crown of our head with our right hand. Just to relax our scalp. And then bring our hand up several inches above the top of our head. Let's seat our attention in that nice space between the top of the head and where our hand is. And a nice connective point of attention beyond our thinking mind, the support of Mother Kundalini. And let's now bring our hand back down. Both hands in our lap, palms up, open and receptive. Put our full attention in that nice space just above the top of our head. Let's just enjoy that full immersion of being one with her and all her support, all of her loving nurturance and support. Most importantly, just avoiding us of any thoughts, any distractions, any doubts, any worries, any confusion, any anxiousness. Just a nice settlement of peace and harmony. Let's enjoy this state for a few minutes. We're all there together as one unified force for divine love. So we're all here supporting each other in that pure attention, beyond our thinking mind. Let's enjoy that oneness as one unified force for love. Let's enjoy a moment of silence in that universal oneness together for about 2 minutes or so. Let's just see how effortless it is to be united in one. In so doing, you might make note of your hands and see how your hands are feeling. You may be feeling cooler. In any case, the most important thing is to be united with our attention. Beyond thoughts, in that beautiful state of silence. Let's enjoy the silence for a few minutes. No thoughts, no doubts, just that pure oneness. Now we can bring our hands together, honoring our central channel, honoring our Kundalini. And then now slowly open up our eyes. Let's go ahead and again raise our Kundalini and give ourselves a nice rainbow of protection for each of our 7 energy centers. Thank you. Just want to say that, just to conclude with this, I wanted to say that it's so important that we meditate on our own daily, but it's also so important to meditate collectively together, because we really nurture and support each other. It's a collective happening whereby we get that loving support amplified, and we're together meditating as one unified force for divine love.
Thank you so much, Steve. So true.
Yeah.
I would like to thank all of you. Thank you, Steve, and thank you so much, Tracy, for the beautiful experience you have, shared with us. And thank you to all of you for being with us, for being with us on this journey, and for staying back for so long. I myself in a very silent state right now, and I feel so bad to have to say goodbye to everyone. But we are definitely looking forward for tomorrow, isn't it? So remember, tomorrow we are going to learn how to get rid of the unwanted mental activity. It is so important, and it is going to help us tremendously in our meditation. Do try to practice it at home. Try to foot soak at home. Get in touch with us on the WhatsApp groups. We're always there. Check out the resources and enjoy the journey. Goodbye to all of you. See you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you, everybody.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone.
Lovely session today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.
Night.
Good night, everyone. Great.
Good night.
Good night. Thank you.
Good night.
Good night. Night.
I don't know. No, he's been on the phone.